It's John with AMS Travel Sales. You know what drives me crazy at the airport? Security line. It never fails. You are late for your flight. You got a misconnection or something's going on that's slowing you down and you are in a hurry. You run up to check in, you get through that, you run over to the security line, and sure enough, it's a log jam. There's always a few people in that line that don't know what they're doing. It's like they never ever left their home before. They didn't realize they might have to take off their shoes, their belt, go through security. They're fumbling with their bags. They're fumbling with their ID. They don't have anything ready, and they just drive me nuts. It's no secret that I'm not known for my patience when it comes to travel days. For me, that day of travel, those days, oh, that drives me crazy. And I have zero patience for people who don't know what they're doing. So don't be that guy. When you're going through security, some things are gonna be pretty evident. There are some commonalities. We've got to be prepared to take off our shoes, and that means wearing proper footwear for travel. Proper airport footwear doesn't always equal proper footwear. I've always been a hater of flip-flops and sandals and things like that. I prefer nice rugged shoes and boots and whatnot. But the airport, you've got to take into consideration the difficulty of getting those types of shoes on and off. If you've got hiking boots like I wear all the time, I love my Keen hiking boots. People know that. I love to go outside and explore. So I wear them every day, except when I'm traveling. Those boots are in my bag. I will wear some inexpensive flip-floppy type shoes for traveling in the airport, and here's why. You can almost guarantee that you're going to have to take those shoes off in a hurry when you're at the TSA security line. It's not always the case, but 99 times out of 100, you're going to be taking those puppies off. So you want to have something that is easy to take on and off, slip-on flats, loafers, things like that. You want to avoid anything with complicated laces that go all the way up, like ankle boots or, any more extravagant boots, knee highs, whatnot. Ladies, not good for the airport. So take account your footwear. Make sure it's easy on, easy off. Bada bing, bada boom. You want to get that. You want to not be held up while you're tying your shoes. You're figuring out what's going on with your feet. You want to get them on and get them off. Get through that line. Get on the plane. Same thing goes for any sort of metallic objects. You need to know that you're going to go through metal detectors, and those metal detectors pick up on all sorts of things. Belt buckles, jewelry. You shouldn't be traveling with a lot of jewelry anyway, just from a security standpoint. You want to avoid traveling with a lot of valuables, and clanky jewelry, that'd be one. Leave that at home. Or if you insist on traveling, pack it in your bag before you go. Don't wear it through the airport thing, because you might lose it, you might drop it, you might cause a headache and a slowdown for folks behind you with your jangly jewelry. I recommend you leave that at home. You're going to probably have to take off your belt. You need to take that into consideration when you're picking your pants. You don't want pants that are too big that'll fall off without your belt. Trust me, that is not a good thing. It may have happened to me once. They make travel belts, plastic travel belts that are perfect for the airport. I suggest you take a look at them. I'll have some links down below, places you can get that sort of thing. Travel clothing specifically designed without metal that would set off detectors and whatnot. Makes things a lot easier. Also, I see these types of shirts that are offered a lot on Facebook and whatnot, shirts with a dozen pockets. Those are great for certain things, but you definitely don't want to put any kind of metallic objects in there when you're going through security. You got to figure out which pocket your cell phone is in or whatnot. Try to have all that figured out before you get to the security line. Pack all that stuff, all your electronics, all your charging cables, all your power packs, all that stuff can go in your carry-on prior to getting through that line. You want to try and plan ahead. Glasses too. Even if you have a hard time seeing sometimes, like I do without my glasses, you want to just have them packed away so you are ready to go through security like a lean, mean traveling machine. Laptops. There's always a slowdown with laptops. Laptops are getting extra security lately. You want to, if you can travel without it, travel without it. I always recommend traveling as light as possible, checking as much as you can through the airline. Check bags. I know they charge a fee. I know it's a pain in the butt. I know it's a ripoff, but do it. Here's why. Because the airlines are charging so many blasted, everybody is taking carry-ons and carry-ons and carry-ons through security. It's causing the headaches that we're running into. You can avoid them for yourself by checking your bags. I know it's going to cost you more money, but sometimes you have to pay for convenience, and it's not a bad thing, folks. It's okay to pay money. So, I recommend you check your bags, especially any bags with electronics and whatnot. You can lock them with TSA specific locks and not have any issues there. Cameras and things, you don't need to worry about the cameras going through the security. The technology is such that it's not going to hurt anything. Again, I'd put it all in a bag and send it through. You want to try and be fumbling as least as possible when you're digging through your pockets, getting things, putting them in the little tray and sending it through the x-ray. You want to have your passport, you want to have your boarding pass. That's really all you should have when you're going through security. Everything else should be packed in your carry-on, sent through the thing, and your life is going to be so much better. You'll have hands-free if you need them to get your shoes and your belt and all that stuff on if you've had to take those off. Not know that you can skip past all this hassle with the shoes, the belts, the 311 liquids, all of this stuff, all the hassle that you've got to go through. The government has actually initiated 2 programs, and more than that really, but the 2 you need to know about are designed for folks who travel frequently. And one is called TSA PreCheck. This is for domestic flights originating in the U.S. This is a way kind of to fast pass through the TSA security check. You don't have to take your shoes off, belt off, all this stuff. All the hassles that you are hassled with, you can skip right by. It costs $85 for 5 years. If you travel once a year, I'd say that's worth it. It's a great program to speed you right through. Business travelers especially are smart to take advantage of the TSA PreCheck. And for those who do international travel, there's a program very similar to that called Global Entry. I did a trip, a few years ago to St. Lucia, and one of the folks I was traveling with was another travel agent. She was a participant in the Global Entry program, and whereas it took me about 3 hours to get through customs and immigration upon returning home back to Miami, when we did our flights back from St. Lucia, this other agent made it through in about 20 minutes because she was in Global PreCheck. And this was 4 or 5 years ago, and this is the first time I'd ever heard of this program. It's a little bit tricky to go through. There are some applications that you have to put in, and you have to submit to background checks and things like this. You've got to be a citizen in good standing, and there are some rules to it. But I strongly recommend that if you do any sort of international travel more than once or twice a year, and that includes trips to the Caribbean, not just exotic destinations or Europe, I strongly recommend you take a look at the Global Entry program. That's $100 for 5 years, but gosh, it is a wonderful stress reliever when you come in to the airport from your international destination. You're exhausted, and then you know you've got a 3-hour ordeal of lines and mess to get through at any of the big airports, Atlanta, LaGuardia, O'Hare. Any of them are just freaking nightmares. And you can avoid all that headache by signing up for these programs in advance. If you travel prepared, you are going to be 100% ahead of the game when it comes to your convenience, your comfort in the airport. It's going to take some of the pain, some of the agony out of air travel. So, I hope you learned something in this video. Take these lessons to heart. Remember, shoes, belt, electronics. Remember the tips that we've talked about, and hopefully your next trip through TSA won't be a headache. So have a wonderful time, wonderful day, great traveling. If this is the first of our videos that you've seen, I suggest that you subscribe, because we've got videos coming every Monday about all sorts of travel topics that you can learn about. And I suggest that you like the video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know this is something you'd like to know. If you'd like to see more videos about these sort of travel tips, let me know that as well. Comment below. Tell me of any sort of TSA travel tips you've got. And happy travels. Thanks for watching.